visuals, it is time. Well, I don't think you've been waiting long for this, but we've been waiting ages, well, it feels like ages, for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It is time to give our spoiler-free review. There's Doctor Strange shit there. Yes, visuals, I and among my friends, we've gone and seen the first official public viewing of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and oh my god, this film did not disappoint. It was fucking amazing. But remember, before we actually get into it, come back on Tuesday for the Entertainment News podcast, where we will have a spoiler-heavy review of the film. But let's talk with spoiler-free. Doctor Strange is finally out, and this was an amazing thrill ride across the multiverse. What a fucking beautifully exquisite film. The last Doctor Strange was visually beautiful. A lot of the Marvel films, and a lot of films are beautiful, but this has the benefit of just, because it's like this film's going through the multiverse and stuff, it has the benefit of going to weird and wacky worlds and loads of weird space looking stuff and spaces in between multiverse or universes and stuff. It just looked phenomenal. So it gets 1,000,000 points just for that. This film also gets a nice bit of credit for debuting some characters like America Chavez and stuff. And other characters, some surprises, which I don't know the future for. We'll have to talk about that in a spoiler-heavy review. But it did a lot to deliver in terms of new characters coming in, establishing old characters, establishing Doctor Strange even more, exploring Wanda a hell of a lot more, and the story is basically as it follows. America Chavez has the ability to cross multiverses. Someone or something out there wants the ability, or her ability, for themselves, and away we go across the multiverse. Protecting America Chavez, Doctor Strange do what he can, meeting variants of himself. Absolutely beautiful story to follow. Nice, crisp, clear. Away we go. It has so many high moments in terms of where I was like, this is just amazing. And actually, we'll talk about the horror aspect, because it's supposed to be the first horror film inside of the MCU. Now, there were horror elements, but they weren't bad horror elements. If you actually went to go watch a genuine horror film and these were the elements that they use, you'd be like, oh. But in terms of the MCU and this film and what it did and having them little moments, it was fine. It was good. It was like, yeah, okay, I get what you're trying, a bit creepy, a bit scary. I understand you can't be too scary because Marvel, you need to be family friendly. There's a big... So the horror elements... I keep saying elements, don't I? What a bell end. The horror aspect was good, and the fights in this were just absolutely unbelievable. Now, I did the whole joking... See when Wong does his, spell casting and stuff. I don't know if he has any, martial arts training or anything, but it feels so... fluent and water and graceful, and he just looks so amazing. I mean, Doctor Strange looks great and everyone else looks great, but it's something about when Wong does it, I just fucking love it. The fights were absolutely outstanding, because it wasn't just, we do have hand-to-hand, fist fights and whatnot. Obviously, the return of Mordo, I forgot to mention him with other characters, but we get to see the return of a variant of Mordo, because we still haven't seen Mordo since the end of the first film. But yeah, we get a lot of really cool, unique fights in this, because it's magic and spells and wizardry and all that shenanigans, and it was great to see that. I love to see a hand-to-hand Cap going up against Thanos or whoever it may be, Spider doing his acrobatic stuff, but it's nice to see battles and fights play out this way. I'm going to say this bit, hopefully without spoiling it, but there's a couple of moments with a few different characters that happen inside of this film that break the conventional laws of filmmaking, and I'll wait for you to notice them, and hopefully you can comment and say, I noticed that. And I have my own thoughts and theories, which again I'll get to in the spoiler-heavy podcast, but it was quite cool to see. And to me, there's one time we see the rule break of filmmaking that was actually kind of creepy. And hopefully you can point that out and see it yourself. Well, going into this, because we're still on a high, well, I'm personally still on a high from the Moon Knight season finale, and then into this, I was just absolutely loving life. But this film does not fail to deliver. There are a couple of slower, I was going to say elements again there, slower moments in the film, but I personally didn't mind that. The way that it broke up nicely from the travelling through the multiverse, between a different fight, bumping into a new character, understanding other characters, new characters like Chavez and stuff. It did feel to flow absolutely beautifully, and we had that nice flowing of time essence, and obviously time being related heavy to Strange. It's definitely not without its comedic moments. It definitely gets you a couple of times with your laughs. And it's got a few heavy moments. Again, we see another layer, a slightly more vulnerable layer of Doctor Strange and, you know, his love interest and his love life and his personal life. And we see another side of him in the celebrity aspect, you know, it was, oh, it's Doctor Strange, you're Doctor Strange, you know, all that carry on, I'm a famous Avenger. And seeing Scarlet Witch, without spoiling it, we see a huge extra layer after what she's going through and how she's feeling and stuff after the events of WandaVision, and having a Westview and whatnot. So yeah, absolutely beautiful storytelling. There are some really cool surprises which I won't get into now. One, jump out your moment surprise. In fact, again, without spoiling it, there are a couple of surprises you go, yes, and you're like, wait, hang on a sec. I hope somewhere, somehow, some shape, way, form, or whatever, it gets switched around and we can reverse what's just gone down. I hope so. Fingers crossed. We get some nice twisty twists at the end. One cutscene. We get two cutscenes. One I called but without calling what it would be, and two was a guess, and I kind of did get it right-ish to a certain extent. We get a nice new introduction again, and you'll see for yourself. Again, I can't get to, you know, emphasize the point enough of how visually beautiful this, whether it will be in a nice, bright, vibrant sort of part of the multiverse, sort of the scarier, darker, the greys and the blacks, and like we go into a certain variant of the Sanctorum and the creaking of the wood, and we hear water and the skies all just, it's just fucking beautiful. Yes, I always think I ramble on too much because it's spoiler free. You can't say too much apart from how you felt watching the film. I feel like we got a great story with absolutely beautiful new characters and a great way to further unravel our current characters like Doctor Strange and Wong and whatnot. We got so many laughs. We got some beautiful fight sequences and the way that they were choreographed. Because obviously the actors will be given a lot of. And and obviously you go over the post-production, editing, all the bright colours and the sparks and the smells, and it looks great. We got some really cool dynamics. We got a nice, not a twist in the story, but a little, because again, it isn't just your generic, which is great, your generic, I'm the good guy, you're the bad guy, I want to do this, away we go. It's very complex in terms of people's feelings and how they truly see situations, what they need to do to be happy and stuff, because that gets brought up quite a lot. They get asked a few different Strangers and our Strange and stuff, and one gets asked, you know, are you actually happy? That gets asked quite a lot. So there are a lot of issues to explore. One's happiness. Yes, visuals. Please go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness ASAP. It's so good. So I've had my third viewing tonight, and I cannot wait. So if anybody else needs something to go with, give us a shout and we'll hop along across the multiverse together. And the introduction is the way this film starts. I love the way that when a Marvel film or any film in general just starts, you get your blah 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 Marvel Studios and boom, away we go. Fucking love that. Visuals, I know I am super duper Mr. Optimistic. I am basically a shit version of Kevin Smith. And as soon as I go, yeah, I like the bit and I like you, that's an automatic smash. I can't help it. This is, as a comic book nerd and, you know, reading comic books before these films come out and people say, oh, they're crap, they're lame, and seeing it unfold on the big screen, it makes me feel so happy. So I definitely do feel like I get maybe more happier than I should, but I can't help it. It's the way I feel, so it is what it is. And the film's getting a 10 out of 10. It was just absolutely amazing for me. There are maybe a couple of elements if we proper fine-tune it, and when I talk to Chris, I can say, oh, maybe blah, blah, blah. But as it stands currently, it's getting a massive 10 out of 10. There we go, visuals. That was my spoiler-free review for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Please go check it out soon. If you did enjoy my review, and hopefully I didn't ramble on too much, please, well, brewski, and let me know in the comments below. Anything you want to let me know about, anything, I mean, ideally Doctor Strange, but anything you want. Let me know your favourite height of giraffes. What do you think their peak height is? And apart from that, visuals, thank you so much for watching. Always keep being you, and keep on keeping on. That again, more magic.